When she stood up, the cake-cutting knife still gleamed in my hand, as if symbolizing my pain and anger. My sister's voice broke through the laughter like glass, each word piercing my heart like a dagger. "My son," she said, lifting the child as if he were a winning trophy, "isn't just mine, he's your husband's son." The room fell silent, as if even the air bore witness to my betrayal. The child stopped making noise, as if sensing the heavy truth. Then she struck again, her eyes gleaming with greed. "And as inheritance, I'll take half of your $800,000 house." She waved a folder as if it were her victory flag. "It's clearly written in his will." I stared at her, my heart burning with brokenness and anger. My husband's coffin hadn't even cooled in the ground, and my sister, my own blood, was staking her claim. I pursed my lips, suppressing the laughter rising in my throat, because she had no idea she'd fallen into my trap. I met my husband at 22. He was my strength, my shield, his promise to always be there. His eyes looked at me like a precious gem, and I married him because I trusted him. But my sister was always there, hovering around him, laughing out loud at his words, flashing her dazzling smile. I thought, this is her nature. Carefree, attention-seeking. Family forgives, right? I ignored those stolen glances, their long laughs, the sudden silence that fell over the room, because trust is a band we tie ourselves. But then the signs appeared. He started working late, the unfamiliar scent on his shirts, his phone locked, his stealing glances. One night, he returned home, disheveled, his collar damp with sweat. I didn't ask, just watched, because watching is more powerful than asking. Then the message came. My sister's carelessness, or perhaps arrogance. "Next time, don't leave the necklace." She almost saw it. The necklace, the one I'd seen glittering around Mom's neck on her birthday. My heart broke, but I didn't shed tears. I didn't scream. I smiled, because that very night my illusions were shattered, and my plan began. Other women crumble under betrayal. I strengthened myself. I became the embodiment of patience, every smile, every word part of the web I wove. I secretly met with lawyers, learning things my husband thought I didn't know. His foreign accounts, loans, and the will, which he signed without reading because I handed it to him with a loving kiss. I had drafted it with my lawyer, hidden in the papers. He was so distracted that he didn't even notice. The will gave him nothing. Every property, every brick was in my name, irrevocable, unbreakable. I assured him he was smart. I convinced my sister she was winning. That was the sweetest part of revenge, the silence before the attack. Then suddenly a heart attack. He was gone. I dressed in black, my face stone-like, my body mechanically performing funeral rituals. People whispered, "How strong," but my sister cried louder than me, holding her baby, pretending to be a grieving sister. Her act could have deceived anyone except me. At the graveside, I saw greed in her eyes, hidden behind a mask of grief. And now, here, 6 feet below my husband, she was waving her illegitimate son like a winner. The room waited for me to break down, but I leaned back in my chair and whispered, "Oh, I understand." My smile held a cold strength, because I was the only one who knew what lay ahead. 2 weeks later, she staked her claim, brandished a will, and demanded half the house. Her lawyer was stunned after reading it. "It's not that," he muttered, his face pale, because the will in his hands was a sham, a draft he wasn't supposed to see. The real will, notarized, signed by witnesses, was locked away. Every dollar, every brick was mine. The lawyer explained it to her like a child, and her hands trembled. She accused me of forgery, her voice shrieking with frustration. I sat quietly, legs crossed, and said, "Be careful what you say. People might ask why your son looks so much like my dead husband." Her face fell, as if her world was collapsing. This was the second part of my plan, not just a legal victory but social destruction. Word spread to friends, family, neighbors. Invitations stopped. Her son's birthday photos became a scandal. She was no longer a proud mother. She was the woman who betrayed her sister, sleeping with her brother-in-law. One night, she came to me, her eyes swollen, her hands shaking. "Don't do this," she pleaded, her voice breaking. "He's my son. Don't ruin us." I looked at her, the sister with whom I shared childhood secrets, who did my hair. My heart ached, but my courage was unwavering. "You ruined yourself," I said calmly. "You stole my trust, stole my husband, and now you're claiming my home. This is your defeat, not mine." I closed the door and left, strength in my steps, my heart burning with the fire of revenge and the light of freedom. I had saved everything that was mine, my home, my dignity, my truth. And in that moment, I knew that true victory wasn't possessions, but reclaiming my power. I was no longer just a victim, I was a victor, and this was my story.